Good evening, everyone. We're here at CappingTV tonight to cover the Intermediate Division upper page playoffs between Pogjuice, Aficionados, and Artix Entertainment. On production tonight is Just Jazz, and with me on the casting is a team of Ants in their prime, and I'm Jolson. How are you doing, Ants?
Hello, I'm doing really great. I'm excited to cast again for Capping TV. Last time was really fun, and tonight looks like a really good game. So,
Yeah, it
yeah.
really is. It really is going to be a tight game today. We should probably explain why that is by starting with the rosters first. What you can just run over any of one of the rosters you want,
Okay.
Ants.
Yeah, sure. I'll go over Artix Gaming. So, for Artix Gaming, we've got Proxy and Toka on Scouts, with Yves, Saint Laurent, and Kai on Soldiers, Tanking on Demo, and Conflux on Medic.
Yeah, and on the other side of Pogjuice Aficionados, we've got TG on Scout, Montgomery Wigglesworth with him on the Scout. Cake and Lizard are your two soldiers, Frydog is on Demo, and Ravu4 is on Medic. What do you notice about these two rosters already?
Well, I recognize a few characters. There are some that I don't know too well, but Conflux and Ravu are both very experienced medics. I know they've both played at quite high levels. Ravu 4 in season 26, he had a really high. He performed really well in high. I'm pretty familiar with actually a lot of the players on Pogjuice. I played with TG and Frydog. I've merked like loads of these guys before, so pretty familiar. I know that Kai is a really strong player, so it'll probably be a good idea to keep an eye on him. And yeah, also the Proxy and Toka have got very strong DM as well.
Yeah, I'd say on the side of the Pogjuice, or I'd say like particular players to watch out for would probably be Lizard. Like I've heard some people saying that the team is built around Lizard, and I'd say from watching a few scrims and looking at some logs that might be the case, because Lizard does do a lot of work on the roaming side. He creates a lot of space, and he just gets like the perfect timing and perfect picks that he needs to when he's fighting. But then, yeah, like you said, like there's a wealth of experience on the side of Artix Entertainment. I'd say one person to watch on the side of Arctics for like a completely different reason might be Proxy. Like in comparison to the rest of his team, he's a bit more inexperienced. He was coming from Open last season, so it's like a really big jump, like coming from the top of Open to like the top of Inter in one season. So it'll be interesting to see if he like actually shows up, because the rest of his team is like putting in a lot of work. And these teams did meet in the regular season and traded maps. Do you want to what did you notice when we were looking through like the history of these two teams?
Well, I noticed both teams banned the map that they in this game banned the map that they lost earlier in the season when they faced off. So we'll probably be seeing neither of those. So there can't be too much to garner from that, like too much information to garner from that game. But I think it does go to show that they're fairly evenly matched. Now, if I remember correctly, that game was a few weeks ago now, and a lot can happen in the lead up to playoffs. Teams really start hitting that grind, and even just a few scrims can make all the difference. So, yeah, I think also what you were saying about Lizard Wizard is completely true. He's a bit of a newer player to come into the scene, but he's got really strong DM. You can tell he's putting his hours in, getting on that MG, like doing a lot of practice. And when I casted Pogjuice versus I think it was I don't remember the exact game, but I casted one of their games a while ago, and Cake and Lizard Wizards double bombs were doing so much work for their team. Their soldier play is really strong.
Yeah, there is a lot to cover with these two teams. Like these teams have had a decent amount of history, and like their individual players have a bit of stories to themselves. Like Kai is coming from Prem, and instead of playing hit scan like on Scout, he's playing demo. And then you've got other players like Yves Saint Laurent, who is otherwise known as Randy. He's on Medic tonight. Actually, yeah, like that's another thing to talk about. Like the Arctic Entertainment roster has been really like on and off and inconsistent. I think the roster that we mentioned before had Conflux on Medic and Randy on Soldier. That's actually not the case anymore. They've switched it around. Randy is on Medic and Conflux is on Soldier. But I don't think that's actually too much of a big deal, because Conflux, when he was playing Soldier with this team, which is basically every week, every official. He's been like beasting. So there's not, and that you could probably like argue that they have better coordination with Conflux because he's just been playing with like Toko on the flank this whole time. So yeah.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of Conflux in like MG and in Pugs practicing. He's a very experienced player, albeit on medic, but he's like even getting a lot of practice like not on soldier still provides benefits. Knowing how to like having that practice at like playing lots of MG and like getting just knowing how to get good at like anything just will help you on all classes. So experience is definitely going to pay off, and I think there's that's kind of like the two types of players in this game. There are kind of the newer players who are really strong like DM wise and have put in a lot of practice recently, and then there are the kind of older, more experienced players who might not be on so much of the grind as like they're more just putting their experience into use to kind of help control the situation and keep their team under a watchful eye.
Yeah, we have a ready up already, so we should be starting soon. But to quickly cover the pick and bans that would happen, this is a best of 3 of course stream playoffs. We are starting on process like it has, like it will be on stream. But before that, Artix had the pick ban advantage because they came first in the regular season. They banned Snakewater first. Pogjuice banned Product. Proxy on the side of Artix banned Villa, and then Metalworks was banned. CP Process was the first map. The second map will be CP Gullylosh, and then the third map, if needed, will be Sunshine. Maybe starting with Process first. How do you feel Process is going to go?
So, I think Process is a map that kind of all teams are good at. It's so commonly played in Pugs and in scrims. It's almost like one of the default maps of TF2. So I think it's a very comfortable pick for a lot of teams in playoffs, just because everyone knows how it's played. There's not that many surprises on Process. I would say that Artix Entertainment is possibly the favorite in this matchup, just because of like players like Kai and Randy and Conflux just being able to put in loads of work. So I think they might end up. I think Process is going to go in the favor of Artix Entertainment just because they're the more conventionally kind of developed team.
Yeah, as we say that, both teams have rated up, and we are going into our first mid. Do you want to take this first mid, Ants?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be watching Kai on this rollout. He's pretty quick. Doing some early damage. There's a quick soldier bomb coming out, not quite getting anything done.
Oh my god, thank
the
you.
Market Gardener coming out and getting instantly shut down. So now Pogjuice are going to be one player down for this fight, and that's really not where you want to be. Losing another soldier too is kind of solidifying this mid. Now that they're 3 players down, they are hard pressed to even really fight second. So Artix is going to be just quickly moving into second. There's not even any kind of contest from Pogjuice, and now it's moving into a last hold. Luckily, Pogjuice didn't lose their medic, so now it's probably going into a little bit of a stalemate where Artix is likely to be looking to sack one of their soldiers in, get a little bit of Uberad, and push in once that happens.
Yeah, people clown the meme spoon, but if it's in the right hands, you can do a lot with it, and Tanking just showed us that on the first mid.
Yeah, that's a decisive way to open up the official, just with a Market Gardener on the other soldier who also fast rolled out.
Yeah, it kind of goes, like, apart from just being funny, like, it goes to show, like, the experience and, like, kind of the psychological aspect of these teams. Like, the tanking team probably won't, like, you know, they're not going to fear anything, so they're going to do, like, they're going to try and do whatever they want and take control and make the game at their own pace. As Conflux tried to sack in, Lizard Wizard is going for the counter sack, but he gets cleaned up by those 2 scouts, Toka and Proxy. So yeah, it's going to even out again, but yeah, like, what else do you see at the moment?
Yeah, I like a little detail there where they had Monty on Sniper actually for a moment, but once Conflux had died for the sack, Monty actually went straight back into spawn and swapped back onto Scout before like getting a shot, because they knew that they wanted to counter sack, not waste any time, and they didn't want to be down a soldier with also having a sniper, because a sniper doesn't really provide much in a one-on-one fight if Artix does decide to just trade in.
Well,
We
it
also,
looks
yeah,
like
we also,
yeah,
sorry,
it
yeah,
looks like they're not
Spy.
trying to trade in. Yeah, tanking is already on Spy. He has the Inviswatch right now, so not too much waiting for him probably. Um, he's actually just going to decog really early, wait in heaven, and he's going to see if he can maybe get Ravu 4 here. He does have a sightline onto basically 4 players, and they are not looking around at the moment. Tanky is going to loop around, and he gets
Oh, he goes
the
for
demo.
the demo.
That's still a very valuable
That's
pick, even
fair
though you
enough,
don't get it.
honestly.
Yeah,
And they
They're
have a
gonna-
sniper as well. This could be a trade-in. Monty
Yeah.
instantly swapping onto heavy because they don't want to take that fight with a sniper and to play it down.
They took their heals through too for a second, and now it looks like they're running into lobby. They're going to see if they can use this demo advantage. Frydog does come up in 5 seconds, though.
Yeah, I think
So-
this is too late to make any play off of. When you get a kill like that, it's really only valuable until like the player respawns in 13 seconds or like 12 seconds. So you kind of need to be in the middle of the fight in like 4 seconds or like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and Blue Team like instantly reacted to like when Frydog died as well. Like they had a heavy ready to try and help with that defense after like Frydog went down. So
Yeah,
they're really
You can
quick
tell
on
this
the
is
ball.
Yeah, process last is I feel like one of those lasts that you kind of just end up getting stuck on for ages. So you can tell in scrims that maybe that's been happening a bit, and they've ended up getting a lot of practice at holding it. Just because you have to spend ages holding it in scrims. So
Yeah,
yeah.
It's already been like a 3-minute last hold, and we've seen tanking go up to like 20 different sack waves or something. He's on sniper now, actually. He's looking to peek through lobby. I think there's another sniper on the side of blue. That's Montgomery Wigglesworth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just going to end up being another sniper duel. Lizard is trying to really pressure him out. He is taking a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's was that him aggressively spamming there in lobby, trying to put some pressure on
Yeah,
tanking?
it was.
Oh, there's
Doesn't
the
work though. Yeah.
yeah, Monty gets sniped by him in lobby. So now that Pogjuice is 1 player down, they kind of have the agency to just really start pressuring door 5, and it looks like Pogjuice is going to have to start rotating left to force them back out, but they've already got so much ground, they might just try and take an up and down trade here. Already 2 players down. As I say, that Monty does come up on heavy, so they've got that now. It looks like they will probably be holding this, yeah. I think...
Ooh, that sniper from Kai.
Oh, as I say that, actually, 3 players going down, and this is now quickly turned. Yeah, I think Pogjuice did a good job to rotate left quickly enough to kind of put pressure on the players as they come through door 5, because it is such a small doorway, and if you can manage to like make it really difficult for them to walk through it, you kind of put a lot of strain on that push, but it ended up not working out. And we're going into the next mid here. Do you want to take it away, Jolson?
Yeah, I'm watching tanking. He's not going fast this time and not getting anything, like any mean spoon of some sort. He's just taking high ground eventually. Eats a lot of damage though. He's already down to half HP. Kai goes down immediately, so that's going to be a bad sign. Toka goes down as well. Ravu 4 does get picked off by tanking though, and it looks like they're gonna... Oh no, Randy does go down too. So yeah, that's a pretty clean mid from the side of blue, apart from the fact that their medic died.
Yeah, I think Frydog did a lot of damage that mid. I was on his POV, and he's hitting like so many sticks. And I think once you lose 2 players on mid, you pretty much just want to leave straight away. Like, that mid is basically lost, and you kind of don't want to lose any more players, because if you're 2 players down and you manage to get out without losing any other players, you can hold second. You have a pretty good chance of holding second, or at least getting like a good bomb off onto the medic as they come through. But they because they had taken the side next to sewer, they didn't really have a very good avenue to leave, so they kind of had to they just all got crushed. But I think we've got a crits from Ravu 4 here.
Yeah, with both medics dying relatively early and like at the similar times, Ravu decided to go up crits, and with the slight uber advantage, they're going to use it on Frydog. He gets his first stick bit, doesn't hit anything. Kai is actually alone. He could get picked off. He gets instantly destroyed, but he actually lives with the 260 overheal. Now Frydog's just going to start walking in slowly. Lizard gets picked off at 5, and it looks like they're just going to repush with a full uber advantage against crits.
Yeah, the theory behind swapping to crits there is that if both medics die and you swap to crits, you get the crits before they get the uber, and you push in extremely quickly and kill the medic before they can get uber. But unfortunately, it didn't end up falling through, and the crits got a little bit... they just didn't resolve into kills. So they do get a force onto the medic on the way onto mid, which is really good. So they should just be able to stabilize on second with their ad now and retake mid
I don't
with the
think
points.
I don't think that was too much of a force, but rather Kai trying to force the issue. He wanted to really bomb in and try and get a lot done while they were running out of choke, but he just kind of like Povo bombed and landed onto the crate, but the rest of his team still managed to get 2 picks, and because of that, they made a lot of space for tanking to like plow through. It looks like they're going to be pushing into against a full crits, though. Frydog has a sticky loaded, and he just misses Randy. He's gonna get a few pipes and stickies off onto everyone else, though. He doesn't manage to hit anything. Kai actually manages to get out right past Sula, and they clean up 3 frags, but Raviv4 does die in the process of that. Yeah. That's kind of the problem with going crits. Like, if you do live, you're stuck on it the whole time, and like, you sometimes just can never hit anything in these situations, which makes crits, like, I don't know, kind of redundant. Like, you can do a lot more with the Uber.
Yeah, and it hasn't quite happened yet, but in an up and down fighters, like trade as well, Uber wins out every time, because you can't, it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing if the players are Ubered. So, it looks like Artix is going to be able to retake.
Tanking.
And is that another market gardener? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he did like the from mid to like second pogo through fast rollout, and he destroys Frydog with it. And because of that, they're gonna have to run through and start picking off a bunch of frags. TG is alone with RV4 trying to get out of one.
Oh no! Okay, and this is looking to be a difficult last hold for Pogjuice. They've got a significant Uber decide. They're still players down, although they'll probably get spawns before the fight gets underway.
They've been building fairly well. There's a chance that they could get if they prolong the fight for like a long time. But it looks like their proxies just sort of walk all the way through heaven. Gets a few shots off onto Frydog, but yeah, they're going to pick off Raviv4 right away before he even gets Uber, and they're going to pick off everyone else in the process with that Uber.
Yeah, I don't know if I super agree. I mean, the push worked. I don't know if I super agree with going door 5 there, because you don't even really need to take it slow. I would have probably just gone through door 3 and just Ubered straight onto the medic, because you kind of risk, you don't want to risk the medic getting any kind of Uber mid-fight. But it worked, so that's fine. You could also, if you go quickly, you can also play off of their player decide.
Tanking is going fast again. This time he doesn't decide to aggress for another market garden. He's getting forced off high ground, but I think that's cake. That's high bombing. He's faking, and he looks like he's going to re-prepare for a double bomb with Lizard, but Lizard actually is about to get caught out in IT. He does manage to get he actually does a lot of damage, but he doesn't manage to live. It's 2 for 1 at the moment. Frydog is really low on 6 HP, but it's a 3-on-4 fight. This is still really winnable considering the HP on the side of blue. And yet,
Pogjuice had well now it's Pogjuice has lost the mid, but it was looking like player advantage for Pogjuice for a while there, but they had taken so much damage earlier on that they couldn't, they were kind of just ended up crumbling later to the scouts.
Yeah, I'd say some of the matchups that holy crap, Lizard just like completely owns Kai. Okay, ignoring that, they're gonna have a little bit of delayed push because Kai went down, but they still have a full Uber advantage, so it should be okay for them. But while Kai is down, it looks like they're gonna try and aggress now. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, before I say that, they're gonna take in an Uber. Proxy does die immediately because he gets dropped as he goes through one. Toka picks up a frag onto the medic, and it looks like they're gonna get out and then just play the heals and then try and re-enter after that.
Yeah, they had a pretty significant Uber ad, which is why I guess that they went through. But actually, Kai picks up Frydog and TG goes down late, so they might just be able to walk straight back in here with 3 players ad. Yeah, they come through door 2, Monty gets picked off, and now it's a 2v6, so I don't know, the proof is kind of, the writing's on the wall for this push.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's already a 3-0 onto the side of the Kai team, so they're kind of, maybe raw skill is playing a little bit into a factor. Like, because what I was going to say earlier is that probably out of all the scouts on the server, Toka might have the best DM, and he was kind of flexing it on mid and on last. He had like a 6 kill streak that whole round. He was just shredding people. He was one of the reasons why they won that fight, even though it was 3v4.
I agree, yeah. Toka's DM is pretty, like, renowned in the Division C players, and even the Pugsy players.
Kai actually dies really early after they're eating like a bunch of rockets and a bunch of spam, and Proxy's gonna get caught out in the rock as well. That's left a lot of space for them to get out, but Randy got trapped in sewer against Lizard, and a soldier's gonna win against the medic 100% of the time in that fight. Rover4 does die in the process though, and yeah, they're gonna take the mid, hopefully.
Yeah, Conflux is trying to make something happen, but it looks like he's just gonna try and escape with his life.
Yeah, he's hopping and skipping away, but there's one more person on mid, that's Turka. This time he can't 1v3.
They could try, I mean, I think actually there's a lot of spawners here, they can't really try and refight, but it's even Ubers, so this is probably just gonna be a stalemate. Actually, yeah, no, sorry, they've got Ravu 4 on crits, so it looks like Pogjuice are really not wanting to stalemate this game out and try and decisively retake some points with another crits push. I would probably, yeah, it looks like Fradog's going to be wanting to focus the medic with his first crit sticky, because the Ubers, it's not that much advantage you get from the crits, only builds 25% faster, so you want to kill that medic early on so that he doesn't get the Uber mid-fight and just kind of trade back onto the team and destroy everything. So
yeah,
we'll see if
Frydog
that
is going
can
to take his
resolve.
crits through the main door, so he gets absolutely nothing again. He doesn't do a lot of damage this time either. Tanking does go down in the process, but they're going to get pushed back, hopefully with his full Uber out on the side of Randy.
Yeah, it looks like Artix maybe even knew that crits was
Oh,
coming.
actually, Kai gets stuffed in the door, so was Conflux. Yeah, that's the problem of trying to push through that small of a doorway.
Yeah. Although
Toka just manages to beast through one and rip into two people. Toka's going to continue to use his raw DM to try and win this fight. He's with tanking at the moment, and it looks like they might be able to win this. They don't have spawns yet, and Ravu's the only one up, and wow.
That's very impressive hold there. They drop 3 players into a full team, waste their Uber, and then like still win the last hold. Pretty like crazy.
Yeah, again, it's like that raw DM that's really on display at the moment. Like, even though like they don't scrim a lot, just individual skill sometimes is the thing that you need. Like, you don't even need chemistry sometimes.
Yeah. I think that these crits there might be a little bit of a beefing, like just because it's an official, everyone's a little bit nervous from Fradog. The crits haven't been exactly fat, I will have to say. I think actually that last crits in, Artix probably knew it was coming because they were ready to back out into last so that they can repush with Uberad, but
yeah, after you do it like once, you can kind of start to expect it, especially with like, you know, that the way these teams play. Like, I think blue team, instead of trying to like bait people in like with the red team aggression, they're just trying to match it, and it's not really working at the moment. They're kind of like beating their heads into a wall a little bit, and they're just facing like the pure DM beasts that are red team. It looks like Conflux tried to go in for a sack. He actually dies, and yeah, Proxy picks up Lizard as he goes for the counter.
Okay, there's a force on the on Ravu 4, so now I would assume that Cake wants to get onto the red medic as they come through choke, but he gets picked up by one of the scouts. So now Artix are in mid pretty much for free. Like, they dropped a scout, but that's not really a huge deal. So
yeah,
now they're in mid with huge ads, so they should be able to just walk straight into second. But they're taking it IT for like, oh no, they're rotating back.
It looks like Kai wanted to see if he can maybe pick off someone while he had heals, but like there was 2 players already there and they were ready to spam him out, and because of that they're looking to go through choke. That blue team have been building quite well though. They're at 80%. They get forced. Randy went down to a little bit of low HP after Lizard, I think, tried to bomb him, and they're going to see if they can get Ravu 4, but they're actually going to back out of 1, and Ravu 4 was going to be able to repush with a huge ad of his own. Tanking goes down as well. Wow, yeah, tanking, just making the huge plays again. He's getting these really early forces, and it's not like the Ubers out of blue team are just like not very comfortable. Like, it doesn't seem like they're able to be in a position where they can capitalize on anything that has gone wrong. Like, usually I've been seeing them push when the like tanking goes down, but like even when they've had player out, they're just not getting anything because they're not in like the greatest position to actually move forward or get anything.
I mean, yeah, they managed to still get second off of that Uber. Like, it was like mostly kind of wasted in last, but when they came through the door, they were still flashed, and they ended up getting the point off of it, which is good. But this looks like it's going to be still ad for Artix, so they try and take an aggressive bomb in from Kai. Kai trying to pick up the medic here.
Kai double stickies in, but yeah, instantly dies at 1. And Frydog actually gets traded out in the process though, but blue team are going to try and repush with their Uber. They do have their own 100% ad, so it's very back and forth in terms of the Uber situation. Yeah, they're going to repush and try and like not deny, like try and not lose second. Tanking goes down as it gets picked off by trying to bomb in. Gets nothing. Randy goes down to 30 HP, but the scouts that were chasing him get cleaned up by his own.
There's a scout on Ravu 4 here.
And Montgomery Wigglesworth got onto Randy as well. Kai picks up Lizard. There's like a bunch of frags going either way, but Ravu 4 is the one that manages to live. So he's going to be pushing in with the scouts in his demo to try and take mid.
Yeah, that was they swapped that second, swapped who had control over that second so many times. They're just trading Uber back and forth, not quite getting like a definitive push like far across the map. But I guess now they're fighting over a different second. So
Yeah, as they fight over it, Proxy will be on Sniper. This is, the disadvantage of Proxy being on Sniper is that he wasn't on Scout to build, so they could have had, like, only 40 disad, but now they're at, like, what is it, 50, 60? I can't count, probably 50. Yeah, like, what is it, Proxy's going to be looking into Choke at the moment. He might be able to spot the person who's in Sewer, like Al-Qaeda. He actually spots Lizard, who was exiting out of lower IT. He actually gets picked off. And they, in the meantime, they were making space for Frydog and TG to come in through top lobby, and they managed to pick off basically basically all of the combo.
Yeah, everyone important. Yeah, that was a really good Uber coming out from TG, like leading that, charging straight in, and aggressively getting the medic before they could get to a point of safety. This is probably the best Uber that we've seen out of Pogjuice this game, and it looks like they should be able to get last unless this DM. No, okay, he doesn't pull out of the bag again.
The spawns came in, but it just wasn't in time. You know, it takes a little bit of time to actually walk from the spawn to the point, sadly, so they're not able to contest it. But yeah, that's actually the first round to Pogjuice, so we may see a comeback here. It's only 3-1. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to be watching Frydog as we enter this mid, though. He gets to the pack, he eats. Yeah, he gets a sticky onto Kai already, but he's going to reset. He's going to start shifting over to the right side, gets this early sticky onto Proxy as well, and I think off of this, they're going to start playing off of Frydog's aggression as he's walking across their pack. This is a demo pipe 1v1. He loses after Conflux spams him, and that's a 3-player ad. Ravi4 dies in the process as well, and Montgomery Wigglesworth.
Yeah, Lizard's probably going to be up, just as I say that. Both soldiers tried to go for the medic so that they could at least maybe even it out to a not full disad last hold, but no, it looks like they're really trapped in this this awkward position on last with full Uber disad. They're going to be wanting as many off classes as possible.
Blizzard is on Sniper, seeing if he can get a cheeky pick before they roll in. There's an engineer on the side of Montgomery Wigglesworth as he changes to heavy instead now. Yeah, that looks like they're going to push through. They've already entered all the way through heaven without even using. Proxy is getting really aggressive, just jumping
A
around.
really good bomb onto Frydog there. Sorry to cut you off. Picks him up early on, and this is kind of like solidifying the fight. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very tricky position to hold, I would say. There's not a whole lot you can do. Probably a heavy might have improved their odds, but
Yeah, like the red team aggression is just not allowing them any room to breathe, really. Like like blue team wasn't able to get like a really strong setup with like an NG or like a really posted up heavy, and having that sniper early on did not really do too well unless he hit like 8 shots. Like there wasn't going to be anything to do with that sniper. Taking immediately bombs in early gets a solid rocket onto the medic, and that
really good bomb from Conflux there. Was that an air shot onto the medic?
I believe it was.
Yeah. Okay. This is a bit of a murder scene.
It's actually
it's
actually a 2v3. Yeah, Lizard actually dies to Proxy as he was trying to chase Randy, and it looks like he might re-enter this fight. I think Proxy wants to go in now. Yeah, Randy is just urging him to go in. Randy's like walking across like 8 stickies, but he doesn't really care.
Arrowing.
Proxy's going to fight this scout with Beam, and yeah, he's not going to lose those. Well, he's going to like at least force him out. Yeah. What did you see on that mid, apart from like that huge double bomb?
Yeah, I saw Kai with a little bit of a scuffed rollout, which was then made worse by Frydog sticking off his pack, so we kind of had to just sit there on like 40 health at the very start of the mid and not do much. But this is going to be a Uber disad for Pogjuice, so I would expect to see the soldier. Yeah, here comes Cake trying to get the force on onto Randy, but Randy doesn't use very good. What is it?
Sick jukes. Sick jukes.
Yeah, some very very sick jukes.
That's given time for them to actually start walking through one, though. It's used on Proxy and on Kai. Kai's actually going to jump all the way across. He kills the gun and Montgomery Wigglesworth. So this is going to be a player ad. Randy walks onto another field of stickies and he actually craters after that. Oh my god. They're actually going to still fight this, though. Proxy gets picked off in exchange for Wizard. TG goes down. Kai just picks up another frag onto Frydog. Tanking gets Ravu4, and it's a 2v1 against Cake, and they're going to win that.
Yeah, that was a...
Sorry,
that was a really good bomb from Kai early on. He creates so much space, and before he could even really get punished, Randy comes in with the flash, so he doesn't even take really any damage from it, and the whole team pretty much gets into last for free, which was really good.
Yeah, I'm watching Kai in this mid off the back of that really huge last play. He's walking across right side. He's only on 120 HP at the moment. His heals haven't caught up yet until just now. There is a double soldier aggression on the side of blue. Lizard managed to pick off Randy already, and they're going to start just monging for the med. Ravi4 dies instantly as Lizard picked up that frag earlier. And it's just going to be a huge DM fest again. Toka is going to be fighting against Montgomery Wigglesworth, but Conflux will pick up the frag before that happens. So yeah, like usually when you see like, what is it? When you get that early medic pick, like you kind of expect, like the rest of the team to try and mong for your medic, but it looks like blue team just weren't ready for it. Like Ravi4 was just like in as much of an open space as it could possibly be, and they just couldn't protect him.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of trading medics on these mids. Honestly, I have a theory that like, oh, you know what? I'll save it for a sec because there's a Uber or just a regular old push straight into mid, dry push. They trade even players, both losing a scout and a demo. Big bomb from Conflux does a lot of damage, but his team ends up crumbling behind him, and it looks like Pogjuice should be able to get into second pretty much for free and use their ad to get into last.
Lizard Wizard drops the taunt onto Proxy. Oh no. Yeah, like as you said, they were just taking a dry fight into that. The moment they picked off Proxy, they just decided to run in and use that player advantage, and it worked out really well. Like you said, like Conflux did manage to get a decent bomb, but the rest of its team couldn't capitalize because they were literally all dead. So they're going to be pushing in with the fairly sizable Uber advantage. It's about 60%, and looks like they might take it through IT as they're starting to run it up now with Frydog and TG.
We've got a crits here from Randy, and an early pop from Pogjuice, meaning they can't really use this Uber to get into last. They should be able to hold second, but now
Conflux and Toka die on the flank though.
Yeah, that's a lot of players that they drop. Now this is going to be an interesting hold. Can Kai land the sticks? He's going to get crits in time.
They're going to run through one. This might actually be huge. TG goes down, Frydog goes down.
Oh my god.
They have someone on the point though. Kai hits another pipe. He hits another pipe onto two. Oh my gosh. Kai just probably did like 1,000 damage with that. That was crits.
Just revolutionary gameplay. I don't think that's the right term for it, but it was impressive. Kai managing to turn that 3v6 into like a hold and actually a push.
Yeah, they do have like an incredibly rare situation where your crits is actually defensive, but it manages to work out. They hold because of that. But their med died, so they're going to be facing like a 70% disad. And looks like blue team are actually going to try and be aggressive with they're going to muscle their way in. And Lizard is going to pick off a flank, pick maybe onto Conflux. Conflux actually lives though. But they still manage to pick off Toka. Lizard actually dies. Proxy might get caught out as well. He is on really low HP, but he manages to wiggle his way out. But yeah, blue team is going to pick off tanking now as well. And they're going to try and run it through 3 with TG and Frydog. Frydog is about to bomb in after TG takes the bulk of the Uber. He manages to pick off Kai, and they are going to pick off Toka as well. And this looks like this might be a round.
Yeah, there's only 2 players up for Artix, so this probably will be a round, yeah, for Pogjuice. Their second round, they've got 4.5 minutes to get 3 rounds. This is, is it? Okay, I don't think it is possible.
Yeah, unless, like, the blue team manages to roll literally every single mid, there's no way that... It's very unlikely, we'll say that.
Probably like 2 minutes is like the most per round. I think it might technically be possible, but not really feasible. Lizard Wizard going down straight away is kind of short up their odds. Yep, Frydog going down. This looks like the match is made here. Yeah,
the blue team just kind of beast all over, like, just get bested by like the DM of red team on that mid as well. Like there was some pretty good coordination, but yeah, they just couldn't deal with those soldiers. Like in general, like I think something we've noticed is that the scouts on the side of blue haven't been able to float around their medics as much. Like as much as the soldiers are creating space, I think they're trying to get too aggressive with that, and they end up leaving Ravi4 on an island with Frydog. And Frydog can't like hit every air shot, sadly. Like he can't be the only one protecting Ravi4, so that's how he probably like dies in these mids. Like he's dying way too much.
Yeah, I really do agree. They performed very well on Product, which is a map where the scouts can kind of just go crazy and do a little bit of their own thing and just like take the beam and just run forward. But on a 5CP map like Process, you have to have a little bit more restraint, I think.
Yeah, that round did come off, but it's basically like dead time at the moment. It's 6-2. Might be a 7-2 to just to pad the ego of the side of red team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tanking is going to go in. He's going to get not a market
Not a
gardener. It's
market
actually
gardener.
Lizard that gets it onto Kai.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong market gardener Roma for that.
I
man.
know. Depressing.
Yeah, what I was saying earlier, by the way, is I have a theory that actually killing the other team's medic early on in the mid is like honestly like reduces your chance of winning the mid, because the other team is just gonna instantly just hyper aggress for your medic and like just inadvertently coordinate like some triple bomb that just farms your whole team. I swear it happens like every time.
Yeah, like I've talked to like some higher division players about the way you approach that situation, and one of the things I've heard was most interesting was that you actually try and prolong the fight as much as possible, because you're trying to chip down their heals after they have no medic anyway. Like you're trying to prolong the fight and invest time with your medic giving heals to your own players. So like when that happens, like if your med is like not living in those fights, you're just never gonna lose, because you're basically down like a combat class after you mong for that med. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the theory is that like if you have the heal advantage, you want to drag the fight out as much as possible to like to make the use of your heals as much as possible, and if you are the one who's just lost your medic, you want to take it as aggressively and quickly as possible, so that the fact that you're not getting like a beam, like gradual healing, doesn't really have much of an effect throughout the game. But it did end up turning into a 7-2 win for Artix Entertainment. So that's a decisive opening to this official.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it would be. I didn't think it would go that quickly. Like I thought Arctics would have like an advantage and probably take the first map, but I was more dominant and convincing than I thought it would be.
Yeah, same. I think we've got logs here. Let me just open them up and have a look. But I suspect I already know which demo did a huge amount of damage just from his crits. And yep, there we go. Kai with 338 damage per minute is pretty impressive. Even though it was a very fast-paced game, that's a very impressive damage there. Anything else stand out that you see from the logs?
I think some other things to note are tanking going 24 and 22. Who knows how much of it was from that like 3 minutes of downtime that we had after they convincingly won. But like when you have a soldier that's fragging that hard and doing a bunch of DPM in the process, like tanking hit over 300 DPM in that game. You know that like your soldiers are kind of taking command, and we can kind of see how exposed Scouts got as well, because Montgomery Wigglesworth went 13 and 22 with like 170 DPM. That is not a stat line you want to be seeing on process as as a scout. Interesting to note, kind of maybe like the heal distributions on the side of red team. Like on the side of both teams, actually, it was really bog standard, but like I think the combo of Kai and Proxy kind of played a little bit more together. Like that's probably how like some of those fights transpired. It's just they had Beam on Proxy and Kai the whole time, and they just managed to like plow forward as a unit and deathball because of that.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that Proxy got 8 medic kills on Scout, which is unconventional, like uncommon, I should say. I think I'm trying to see if there's anything outstanding in from either medic. They both have very high healing and pretty even Ubers used. Obviously, a lot more
died
crits
16 times.
Oh, okay, that's the stat that I was looking for. I mean, Randy died 10 times, which is like significantly less. It's like a decent amount.
I mean, it might be like indicative of how fast-paced this game is. Like, sometimes you just don't watch those high-bombing soldiers, but it kind of proves that the high-bombing soldiers of Red Team or like a Kai's team were just a lot more effective in kind of drawing eyes, and like either they drew a bunch of eyes for Proxy to walk in and get some of those 8 med kills, or they were actually like doing the work themselves and managed just to landing on Rivalry 4 and just kind of dunk on him in the process. Wizard did manage to have a decent game, though. Decent by the standards of his by the standard of the rest of the people in the server. He managed to hit 300 DPM. It is a soldier dominant map, so I'm excited to see how Lizard would perform. But considering that the way the soldiers have been playing on Red Team, like even though there's something in my background, but even though Conflux didn't manage to perform too well, like on the map compared to at least tanking, I think he could still do a lot of work on this map because of just his experience as well. He could probably use his brain to coordinate with tanking and just get a bunch of early damage on mid, because you can do a lot on this mid. like as a soldier, and sometimes even though like a demos, like if the demos are fast, like they can do a lot of damage, soldiers can like turn the tide equally as much, in my opinion.
Yeah, sorry, I was tabbed out just like marveling at the logs, but seeing now it's on Gully Wash, and I'm not sure which team this favors more because Kai has been really putting in a lot of work, and obviously it's an extremely demo favored map, with its very tight choke points. It just it is in the favor of a demo a lot and somewhat the soldiers. So you might say that Kai has a better chance because pretty much outperformed Frydog last map. Although I think this is I think this might be one of the preferred maps of Pogjuice. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is their map pick. So who knows? Like it's a little bit of a different style of map. It's a little bit more choky, and the last is a little bit smaller than most. So their practice on it might pull through into convert into rounds. What do you think?
I think one thing that was promising to see towards the end of the process before they got completely rolled in those last 2 rounds of dead time was that Frydog managed to hit like a really decent last push with TG, and as they managed to like they showed flashes of what they could do, and they basically performed like the most perfect like push that you could do into process last. Having that coordination like would do really well in Gully Wash, like especially once you get to last, where it's like probably the easiest last to hold without Uber. Like, even like if like if TG and Co are pushing into that situation against like a field of off classes with full Uberad, it's probably the chemistry that's going to be able to help them like take down all those off classes and defeat like that fabled Gully Wash last hold. But like that was only that one push. Like I'd say with the way they're playing now, it's a little bit. I'm doubting their chances a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, as much as it's also a very difficult last to push into, it's also an extremely difficult last to push out of because you have to do so much checking of like hiding spots in lobby, and it's kind of like a maze you have to make your way through before you're even allowed to start shooting at second. So you have to be extremely coordinated and extremely fast with clearing every like possible hiding spot, so you don't get back capped, and try and get onto second quickly. And that's something that I think that comes with experience pretty much on the map. You can't really like grind that out like quickly. You just have to play the map a lot, I think. So maybe that is something that Pogjuice will be a little bit better at with their practice on the map.
Yeah. What else did you notice from the side of like what do you think will Pogjuice like? What else do you think they'll need to do in terms of getting this map? Because if they don't get this, they are getting sent to the semi-finals and not getting a chance of like guaranteed top 2 finish.
Yeah, I think they will probably be trying to play this quite aggressively. When I saw them play it last, they were playing it very aggressively. There was a lot of just running across mid quickly, instantly like after winning a mid, instantly transitioning into like taking bats, getting ready to push straight into last, like not faffing around on second or something like that you sometimes see teams do. Like that kind of quick efficiency is, I think, what they're going to need to really pull out to make things work this map. But it looks like have we got some ready ups? Yep, here we go. The game starting into the first mid of Gully Wash.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching Kai on that first mid, as he kind of beasted on process. He actually beefs his rollout. It looks like he's still going to end up going his side though, so it's going to be a little bit slow. Let's see if he hits some early damage onto their big door though. Actually, Lizard is already going in for an early bomb into their elbow. Same with Cake. Yeah, they're getting crushed on the floor, but Kai manages to hit a bunch of damage onto the scout. He actually gets picked off as he tries to walk forward though. Toka goes down early. Lizard gets a pick onto Tanky, and it looks like they're just going to run it out of choke.
Yeah, so little health for Pogjuice. One core big double bomb there, I think would have gotten honestly like 4 kills. They were all on like below 100 health, but they should be able to just get straight into second for free here. And oh, actually, as I say that, I think Artix might be trying to contest it because they didn't lose their medic, so it's still even Ubers.
Yeah, they're kind of chilling. Well, at least Conflux is chilling on bats, but it looks like they're kind of rotating out now.
He gets left hanging a little there on bats.
I think Pogjuice did exactly what you said. They tried to take it as aggressive as possible. That's like they were close to losing like literally like 4 players or everyone there. Like you said, like they were all really low HP. But the benefits of going aggressive and like sacrificing all your HP is that if it works, like you force them out really fast, then you actually don't die, and that's what managed to happen. They picked up 3 early kills on that mid, and they managed to walk through pretty easily after that.
Yeah, that was an interesting bomb I saw from Lizard, not like committing to just landing straight on that, like onto all of the players coming through big door. He actually like taps S a little bit and just goes for the more kind of moderate rockets onto the soldier. He does go down very low, but he, like, if nothing else, sows a lot of confusion among Artix Gaming. An aggressive bomb like that can kind of discombobulate the other team, which is really what you're looking to do. You're kind of looking to draw eyes and reduce the coordination of the other team with an aggressive bomb like that.
Friedog actually gets picked down by Proxy,
Yeah, picked off by a sniper, so now it looks like they're going to have to be sitting back on bats. They can either take a really close trade on a soldier here, which I think they are trying to do to contest the Uber of Artix, or they can sit further back and go for it. Oh my god!
Tanking is so close. Oh my god!
Almost gets market gardened in river.
Tanking has like no fear, man. He's just gotta go for it every time. That was his counter stack. Luckily, he didn't manage to get anything. But it looks like they actually want to take this with a player advantage. Monty is actually getting to run into water. Cake is actually going to sack in as well. He gets floated up into the air by Proxy and Toka. And Randy does take a bit of damage in the process, though. TG actually manages to get a pick onto Conflux, so it's not all that bad.
It'll even out into a kind of, like we were talking about before, a fairly like standard stalemate on Gullywash last. This is a very comfortable position for Pogjuice, I think, because it's so hard to push out. They can comfortably just sack over and over again without much worry of kind of randomly losing the hold, like on some other maps where you can kind of just run out with a trade and like make something happen. It's pretty much impossible to do that on Gullywash, so...
Yeah, actually Cake goes down and Lizard is actually under. It might be... They actually do a big point play. Friedel was trapping the point and Randy actually uses. He tried to say Proxy there. So yeah, they're going to try and get aggressive with this. Tanking does go down. Kai picks up TG. So, but the blue team Uber does get forced. There's actually a person on the point. That's Lizard. He's going to spam them off, but they're not going to do much with that. So yeah, that looks like kind of... I think that was a set play from the side of blue team. I think they had Friedel trapping off point from launchpad, and then Lizard was... I think that's the reason why Lizard went under, because they wanted to get an extra person onto that point while a scout ran forward.
It looks like it was some kind of like triple sack-esque thing where they have Lizard and I think it was Monty go unders and play point as Cake jumps in to go for the medic, but I think it was a little bit uncoordinated where Cake goes in early and then the scout and soldier play point. So they ended up getting a lot of cap time, but didn't end up... I mean, actually they did get the force, but they also ended up getting forced themselves.
Yeah, like with the cap time that they ended up getting, they had a really real shot at getting that. Actually, Kai Conflux just got stuffed in big
Lizard
door.
Wizard absolutely fucking beasting it.
Oh no, Randy dies on 99% Uber as Friedel just hits a bunch of good stickers onto him. Yeah, that kind of aggression again. Kai was in that slight moderate high ground that you get when you're pushing into mid from big door, but he just... Friedel just didn't fear, and he managed to sink a bunch of stickies into Kai, and with the help of Lizard, they managed to force him out and actually kill him. So they're going to be pushing it with full Uberad.
Yeah, and they've got because they have such huge Uberad, it means that they can really take their time with this push. They don't need to just run straight in and kind of risk dropping players. That being said, they do use through. It's Shutter, so you kind of have to do that. They is that a sentry gun going up? I guess not anymore. Trading
they're
players
actually going to stop.
This is playing point, and they managed to get the frags and win the first round.
Not gonna lie, that was a little bit messy, but they managed to still... they still managed to get it at the end. They lost 3 players during that push, but they still managed to get the round. The round is a round, and they've taken the lead on their map pick, so this is a really good sign.
Yeah, trading maps means they still have a chance to win the 3rd map in this official and still make it to grand finals without having to fight the Highlander
Monty
team.
gets picked off immediately. He was getting really aggressive, and I think the 2 scouts just kind of focus fired him. Frydog is looking to walk forward, but he's actually getting trapped off by a field of stickies, and now it looks like they're going to re-aggress. Cake manages to pick off a frag onto tanking.
Yeah, this mid is definitely still winnable. They've traded
2 scouts for the side of 2 soldiers.
I think I kind of favor this position for Pogjuice, honestly. I would probably take a soldier over a scout on this mid. Aggressive bombs from the Pogjuice soldiers doing a decent amount of damage.
Frydog is forced onto the ground, and it looks like Proxy's going to walk forward onto him. Proxy gets a huge frag. That's his 3rd frag of the mid.
There is very unfortunate to lose Frydog there. Proxy doing a lot of damage, but actually getting Uber actually quite a bit
Randy
earlier.
didn't have. Yeah, he
my
was on
God,
like
that was like-
90%.
Yeah, that was like 15% advantage they just managed to like get in a fight. So that'll probably solidify things, and they'll also keep their advantage because they managed to kill Randy. So they could try and go for a bit of a dot push into second. They didn't. Like Artix still has players, so they should be able to. Oh no, they're not trying to contest.
Yeah, Randy's like all the way on last.
Yeah, they
Like, that mid looked good for the side of red team because they managed to pick off those soldiers who, like, after that 4v4 started happening, like, they managed to pick off Lizard and force Cake onto the ground really early. Like, position-wise, they had so much ground, but it was just RV4 managed to rotate up with TG, I think it was. Oh, no, it was Monty, actually, yeah.
It was Pogjuice's scouts that went down, and then Artix's soldiers both went down earlier in the mid.
Yeah, like, after... I think Toka's sniper at the moment. He's going to be trying holding last, but he's not going to get anything as the blue Uber comes in through river. RV4 actually gets juggled quite a bit, and he's kind of stuck on an island. He is trapped between a soldier, and he actually goes down. Conflux manages to pick up the frag onto RV4, and a huge shot by tanking onto Cake.
Yeah, tanking doing a good job to hold that that positioning on right side and just juggle the Uber. The more you can delay it and the more you can kind of waste that Uber, the better.
Well, Lizard's actually in the hiding spot, but tanking spots
checked
it immediately, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean when I say like pushing out of last quickly and effectively checking all the hiding spots. You can see tanking being extremely meticulous to look for all possible hiding spots to see if there were any soldiers. Now they're trying to make their way into mid here with a significant ad. I assume there's going to be a blue soldier going for a bomb.
Cake actually jumps out instead of jumping in. Yeah, probably wasn't in a... It's probably not too great to bomb into. Actually, Proxy goes down in this Uber, but Toka was already in there, so it's actually not too much loss. They're actually going to take a bunch of space and force Frydog out of the fight as he gets killed. Toka's going to still take this 1v1 against Monty in lobby. He's going to get him down, and Kai is going to probably support him and maybe take him down. Monty actually lives, but they picked up 4 frags in the process of that push before even capping.
Yeah, this is now a little bit of a dire position for Pogjuice. Their mid is still not up. Their Uber disadvantage is just climbing, and this is, I guess we'll have to see how they can execute the Gully Wash last hold here with the sentry no heavy to speak of right now, which I think I would like to see.
Or Pyro even, like, it's really easy to stuff an Uber push just like, because these are like really small choke points. Having one scout onto Pyro would be like the key, but yeah. They only have that one engineer at the moment. That gun is getting spammed out really low. So is Monty. He's on 70 HP. But they're going to start taking this Uber. They take it through Launchpad to avoid any Pyro shenanigans, even though it's not there. They actually spot the gun. They get it really early, and there's a pause.
Oh, okay. So pauses. For anyone who doesn't know, there's a 90-second delay on the STV. So pauses. They're basically, because of something that happened 90 seconds in the future from now, or from when the pause ends, I guess. So now we get to play the fun game of theorizing what do you think causes the pause in 90 seconds?
Not really sure, to be honest. Someone might have internet issues. I don't think anyone like really had, from as far as I know, I don't really think anyone had a particular issues going into this game. Instead of theorizing like why the pause happened, we can theorize what will happen after this pause ends. It's a full Uber advantage, and the Uber's about to fade. There's a bunch of stickies on point. What do you think can happen here?
I mean, I think the writing might be a little bit on the wall. Full Uber pushes into last, very difficult to hold. That being said, the Scout, Demo, and Medic from Artix are all on the ground right now, which I don't think is really where you necessarily want to be playing. Like, you kind of, on Gully Wash, I think you want to hold the height for as long as possible, and then just move to playing on the low ground once you start capping the point. But there's a lot of players from Pogjuice just in spawn, so they might just be able to run onto the point and cap it if they can get the Uber off of their scout early enough.
Yeah, the Gully Wash last cap time is actually pretty fast. Probably the fastest in the map pool. Maybe not faster than like Pro Lands, but it's still pretty fast.
Yeah, I think Pro Lands technically isn't in the map pool this season, but yeah, Pro Lands is also a very fast last cap.
Yeah, like you touched on it like just then, but as bad as Red's positioning could be now, like I think the positioning of Blue is a little bit worse, considering that they have to take time to drop down. The only thing that's really stopping Red team at the moment is probably those like stickies. Friday will probably death them the moment he sees that capture point light up. But yeah, like
Yeah, it's also it's also worth mentioning that Lizard Wizard is actually in lobby right now. He was hiding on the lockers just as their Uber comes in, and he kind of checked lobby to see if there was anyone baiting the Uber a little bit, waiting to come in afterwards to try and get a pick onto them when they weren't expecting it. But now he's rotating in through, I assume main is where he's going to come in through, and to my knowledge, Artix has no idea that he is there, so he might just get like some humongous bomb and pick off some players as they're capping the point, kind of all stacking it.
Yeah.
Lizard's bombs are very powerful, so.
As big of a play that might be, that might end up hurting him because of how far he is away from the point. Like, Cake has only just come out of spawn now, and even though you like, it's very likely that Cake will be able to jump that point instantly and block the cap, but in the case that it doesn't, Lizard being so far away will not really help at all, and he could just get trapped off instantly. Like, Kai could just walk on after the blue sticky's dead, he could trap off the point on his own, and they could just have like a 3x cap on it, and it would all be said and done.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like as fast as the point caps, though, having 3 players all standing on it will eat a lot of damage. Like, Lizard and Cake are both up. They're both not in terrible positions to shoot the point if Lizard just instantly jumps onto, like, the rim of the point, like, on top. And if you have Cake on the high ground there on the right side of spawn, spamming down, assuming he doesn't take loads of damage from Toka in, like, 1 second. That would, I assume, be the play to kind of counter a quick point play. Because the Artix's Uber is about to end, which means they can just get onto capping very quickly. So yeah, that's how I guess, given this like amount of time to consider it, how I would probably ideally play this hold. There is Conflux on Soldier, who could probably just go for a bomb onto the right spawn door of Pogjuice and just delay them coming out even longer. So
There's also tanking under point at the moment in water. He could either aid the cap, or he probably just could pop through the point and then maybe jump onto them as he exits like the point and jumps through. Like, probably stuffing them in the doorway, but I don't know, it's a pretty interesting position on like basically like you basically have 5 people just bum rushing the point, and then you have the other 5 on the side of blue team standing in spawn, and then 1 person on each side just kind of lurking around.
yeah, you kind of want to be like the second team to bum rush the point. You know, like you want the other team to be. Oh, we actually have the unpause here, so I'll save that thought. Here's a bomb from Cake landing on the low ground, picks up a scout. Player's going down. My HUD is actually broken, so I don't know who's up, but it looks like Pogjuice is holding this.
Yeah, that's a full wipe onto the side of blue team. Pogjuice managed to pick that up pretty easily, so maybe it wasn't as bad as the position I thought it was. And like you know, you said just then, like being the second team to bum rush the point is obviously like the way better one, because they can just instantly pick off anyone that was on that low ground.
Yeah, so they probably gonna they get mid completely for free here. They're looking to push big door to just make a quick rotate, possibly even through baby door. Oh, actually the whole team is right here. They should be able to get like plenty of kills on these players. A little bit slow to leave. They end up getting, I think, just 1. My HUD's still broken. While I reload that, can you take it away?
Yeah, TG and Lizard actually goes down in the midst of that push. They still have a 50% Uber advantage. TG is about to get spawned though. Monty's actually going to run in and get a really aggressive solo Uber. He gets a bunch of shots onto Kai, but manages to beef. He didn't have anything loaded to reshoot onto Randy either. He's going to try and wing a pistol Randy down, but he lives, and that was really unfortunate. Like, Monty manages to just get the best Uber of his life, but not like position-wise, but he just wasn't able to capitalize with his DM.
Yeah, Toka getting onto Frydog and Ravu while they were a little bit alone on second, managing to get both of those kills really solidified that push out from Artix.
It looks like that was where the pause came in, and yeah.
Yeah, I actually have no idea why that happened. It seemed like there wasn't anyone lagging, so.
Yeah, well, while that happens, Proxy's gonna go in with his own solo Uber. He beefs just as many shots as Monty, but he actually manages to pick off right before in the end, so I take back what I said. He's gonna try and pistol down Frydog too, but he manages to get out, and they still haven't even capped second yet, but it was a pretty successful Uber.
TG gets arrowed by Randy. Pretty epic gaming.
Yeah. I don't know, that was pretty solid Uber. Like, they managed to catch them out while they were retreating, and that was kind of the fast-paced play that they needed to do in order to like solidify their momentum. Lizard was actually behind this whole time and managed to pick up Conflux as he was trying to meet his team, so that's going to be something that delays them slightly. Lizard is still actually all the way on mid, and I think Toka might be trying to hunt for him, or Conflux will be the one to try and get him once he respawns.
Yeah, ever since that pause, my HUD has been broken, and HUD underscore reload scheme hasn't been fixing it. So I might have to just reconnect once the round ends, and I'll probably have to let you take the next mid. But it looks like Randy's got it's relatively even Ubers here. This is a bit of a reverse position that they were in
They
earlier in the game.
actually, I think they think it's ad, considering how Rabbit 4 died. And yeah, they're going to push it like it's ad too. They're pushing into a sentry. That's the only off pass they have though. They managed to force Frido's Uber. But yeah, Kai actually gets dropped in that right after. Proxy's running onto the point as they lose like a million players, and they're going to lose another one after Proxy goes down. Toka's the only one in at the moment, and Randy is all the way out. Yeah, like that. They just didn't manage to build that pretty much. Like they had, it was only 20% Uber advantage because during the time, like during that Proxy solo Uber from before, like he wasn't with Randy half the time, so they didn't manage to like build it as much as they could, and because of that, like they just lost their Uber advantage and they couldn't execute a like even Uber push.
Yeah, that was a very decisive hold there. Like, yeah, well, like how you were saying, they didn't quite realize that it had transitioned into even Ubers. Their early use through didn't resolve into any kills because Pogjuice could just kind of pop and save their players with a better Uber, and yeah, they managed to just push out. And so far, yeah, that's all there is to say, I guess.
Yeah, there was a 50% Uber advantage onto the side of blue team. It looks like they were waiting for Lizard to actually spawn up. And it looks like they want to start slowly taking it through choke. It looks like TG is going to actually try and force the issue. He has 185 at the moment. But it looks like they're just going to reset. They did, yeah, they had like a really big Uber advantage. I'm not sure why they decided to go take so long. Like, it might be because of the position they were in, because pushing through choke can be a bit hard against like a full team. Like, they would be stuffed by like a million players in choke, but like with Uber, you can at least kind of try. Like it's only like they still have that one round advantage. I don't think it hurts, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not looking to make any desperation plays here. They just kind of want to, like in this position, you kind of can drag things out. You don't have a million points, so it's not super safe, but like you still have the point advantage. So dragging it out is always going to put things in your favor. There's a red soldier in drop down.
Toka is on sniper actually to try and break the stalemate. I think he ran all the way back to his last. He's looking to peek through. Looks like he's rotating up to his side, and it looks like he's going to try and watch Big Door. I think at the moment there's a soldier and a scout watching, so he could be able to pick off Lizard or Monty.
Oh, he's actually watching choke from next to Big Door, but I'm actually not seeing
Lizard
that.
spots him, gets a decent rocket onto Toka, but actually gets picked off for being too aggressive to try and force him out. It looks like Toka's going to get a bunch more room to snipe through Big Door.
Yeah, no, it's going to be extremely difficult to pressure this sniper out down a soldier. You don't really have like a class that can super spam it. I guess they just rotate Cake to Big Door, but now you're down a player at choke, so this puts a lot of pressure, especially considering that they have a sniper.
Yeah, at the moment it's just two scouts kind of jump peeking him, trying to not get like CS:GO'd, and like Toka's just going to keep walking forward. He's managing to walking close to Big Door, but yeah, he's not going to get anything else after that. He's just going to retake that angle at choke to see if maybe Frydog will peek his head again, but it looks like that won't be the case. So it looks like they're just going to keep beaming Toka while this happens, and hopefully he gets a pick.
Yeah, fortunately for Pogjuice, Lizard managed to respawn before Toka's DM turned into a dead player, but now it's moved more into a position where Pogjuice is, I assume, more comfortable, where they can kind of play the time, just play out the rounds. There's still 15 minutes, so it's not like this is entering really any desperate point for Artix, but you know, it is a point down, so they will be needing to make back at least some kind of deficit here.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be feeling too much pressure, but as the time ticks down, like it'll act like as another player, it'll be like a 7v6 kind of moment. So if they don't get this pick, maybe like in the next few minutes, they might end up doing some more desperation plays if that's the case.
Yeah.
They actually rotated the... I thought my HUD was bugged for a second, but they rotated the beam on the side of blue team to Big Door to see if they can maybe pick off Toka as he was walking forward, but it turns out not to be the case, and Toka's just still going to manage to see if he can pick anyone at Big Door.
Yeah. This is a...
Frydog.
Okay. Before I can even talk about the hold, where they hold the demo in Big Door, said demo gets headshot by Toka, so this should...
The moment Frydog peeks him is the moment he dies, which is really unfortunate. Conflux is actually going to jump in. Proxy's going to follow up through choke, and he manages to trade with the person that killed Conflux. The blue but gets forced out first.
Oh, Toka! It's a headshot on Monty as well. This player is nuts.
Kai is going to big dick this Uber into the lobby, and he's going to try and trap people off. He doesn't get anything else with it though. Tanking goes down really low as he was trying to enter through Big Dog, but yeah. That was a huge shot by Toka.
Impressive. He's really, and he's still alive, still on sniper. They actually have a little bit of disad holding here. I'm not sure if, I think that might just be because of beaming. I'm not sure if that's anything that anyone can play off of. Well, actually, I mean, it's 15%.
Oh, Lizard actually gets caught out into main. He got trapped against the roof, and Kai just stickies the crap out of him and spams him. So they're just gonna, like, again, allow a bunch of room for Toka to snipe. This part of the map is actually a lot harder to snipe though. Like, if you manage to do some decent pressure, like, that sniper cannot get any room. So it'll be interesting to see how Toka maneuvers himself and which angles he kind of decides to take.
Yeah, this is an awkward position for Pogjuice to find themselves in. Then, if they are aware that they have a little bit of ad, I might like if they go for an aggressive
Toka
trade.
Gets a headshot, but it's only 185 scout, so not going to get the kill there.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like they're just going to let things even up. I would like to see maybe TG come up on Sniper to try and at least contest Toka, because you don't... This is like... The situation is a bit uncomfortable. They're kind of just sitting fishes in a barrel. They don't have the option of pushing out because Artix isn't going to lose a player because they're just playing with a Sniper. So... I guess ideally for Artix, this would just be sitting around waiting for someone on Pogjuice to die to Toka. But as I say that, we've got Monty actually on Sniper, not TG, but that's still I think the best play to make here to try and at least put some pressure on Toka.
Yeah, because as long as they sit here, the more opportunities they're going to give Toka to hit a shot, and given the way Toka's been playing at the moment, he's definitely going to hit a shot into something and kill someone. He actually managed to peek decently far out, takes the 1v1 against Monty, but gets nothing. Holy crap, Ravi Four is in that side lane. That was kind of stressing.
Yeah, just very scary.
Toka's peeking again.
Extremely aggressive peek.
Toka's just all the way in water.
Yeah, he's just like... going all at it.
He fakes the water play. This might be 200 IQ if he gets this pick. No, it's not. It was very 1 IQ by the time that happened.
He might just be riding high a little bit on the earlier shots and just taking some aggressive picks. Conflux going down. Now they're 2 players down. That's not really the time you want to be losing a soldier, because it gives a really good opportunity for Pogjuice to make a play.
Frydog just walks through Shutter and eats and destroys Randy with spam, and that's how they got the force. But they managed to lose 2 in the process. 2 soldiers down. Proxy manages to get picked off as well. Oh, there's a person on the point. That's tanking. He managed to get a decent amount of cap time as he was in water, but it looks like Red are going to re-push this.
Ooh, a lot of damage onto Kai there by Frydog. I'm going to push the demo and medic back through main. That started to look very risky for Pogjuice. When they got pulled back by tanking, they couldn't quite capitalize off their last push, and they found themselves with 2 players down. They managed to... that was almost a big midi from Frydog. Scout's always stealing
Kai
the
manages to sticky snipe Kai in the process, Cake in the process of that, but yeah. Like, I think if they managed to push through anywhere that wasn't main, they probably could have won that, because I think the only reason why they decided to push through that avenue was because they wanted to sandwich them with tanking, but tanking just died, or exited that fight right before that his team could come in. But they actually picked up 2 in the process, so they're going to just take this with player ad.
Yeah, so Pogjuice are now, sitting on last with player disad. They're probably just going to want to take an aggressive... Oh my god, okay, 3 players going down from Artix, just as I say that. Frydog doing so much damage to the combo. Did he drop that medic there, or was that...
It was pretty close, it was like 90-something%. But yeah, they just got too eager with that, and it looks like tanking is going to try and salvage what his team failed to do. He manages to drop down into Frydog, gets a decent rocket, but doesn't get anything else after that. And this looks like a decent position on the side of Pogjuice now. They managed to exit out of their last, they have a full Uber advantage. They're still a round up. They could be looking to take... They're in a solid position to see if they can take mid and their opponent's second at the moment.
Yeah, stacking second to deny those forward spawns so that they can get into mid pretty much for free here. They still have Uber advantage. This might be a repeat of what happened last time. Yeah, Ubering and Big Door actually quite early.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they actually managed to pick off Kai for it. Like TG manages to just walk through and two-shot Kai, and tanking actually goes down to Frydog, so that's a pretty decent Uber.
Yeah.
Red team is not too close yet, they're at 75, but they're on river trying to pressure their way out and see if they can contest, but they are not going to get it.
Yeah,
It is still 2-player out on the side of blue team, even though they're down Uber.
I think losing Cake in that push is kind of unfortunate, because if you end up going through and getting 2 kills without dropping a single player, even though you're at disadvantage, I think that they could probably just aggressively just run into run into last, bomb the medic, and try and make something out of it. But because Cake went down, they didn't really have that opportunity, and they have to give up second without getting the force as well.
Kai is getting really aggressive in choke. It looks like he wants to use the slim Uber ad that he still has. It's going to even out though. Proxy's going to shoot away the stickies, and that's going to burn all the time that they had with their ad. Kai's actually going to walk in.
They don't realize that the Uber ad has gone away, and now that they're in an awkward position with a worse Uber.
Proxy walks in all the way through mid, and he actually manages to go behind. He still is taking a 1v1, but he's just leaking behind, and it's a 4v4. This could end up really bad.
Yeah, Pogjuice taking big door to try and push through.
Lizard's actually in. He manages to get a solid rocket onto Randy. Randy is all alone. Randy gets picked off by Frydog. And Tanky manages to pick up Ravu 4 in the process though, so that is...
Frydog gets a soldier there at the last second, his last pipe. Manages to get the kill. This is a really interesting fight here on second.
Yeah, no heals on the side of both teams. Lizard is taking a duel against Conflux onto last. They managed to trade, but this is probably going to end up being an even Uber last hold. With 7 minutes left and still a round down, this is not looking too amazing. But who knows? Crazy things have happened in 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess theoretically... Oh, actually, you know what? I think Artix not wanting to be in that situation of holding last on even Ubers on Gully
there's a crit on Ravu 4.
Oh, okay, so there's a... Yeah, crits from Ravu 4. I guess that's their plan to get into to get one last round and kind of shore up this their assets on this map.
I mean, it isn't the first time that Ravu 4 has gone crits on even Uber situations, but this is the first time on this map at least. So they may not expect it. Lizard might actually die against tanking as he tries to hold big door, but yeah, they're not going to take that risk, and they have a full crits ready to go on Frydog.
They need to be aggressive with this though, because Randy... Okay, well,
Randy has right now.
Randy just got Uber.
But maybe they weren't expecting. Frydog has like the perfect angle lined up, but I think the way that he was peeking that, he thought that they knew, so he's gonna... Oh, Toka managed to pick up a counter frag onto TG, and looks like they're just really hesitant now. They're not sure where to take this as they're a player down.
Do they know that they're on crits? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, okay, so it looks like Artix knew that Pogjuice was on crits, so they take an aggressive push out, knowing that they can just pop whenever the crits comes out, but it doesn't even end up coming out. They just I think that ends up getting dropped there.
I think that was just tanking counter-sacking, to be honest. Tanking just like speed shotted through river and manages to get a bunch of rockets onto Ravu 4 and no one could stop him. Kai's actually walking through Baby Door, eats a bunch of damage, but is actually going to survive. They still have not used, they're just taking a bunch of ground, and Kai's going to big dick just through Big Door. He's going to run it through with Proxy, and Proxy's on the prowl, trying to hunt down Frydog, but he's not going to get anything. There is a spawn that comes out. They didn't deny everyone, but TG and Cake did not get the forwards, so they still, again, have a full Uber ad, and they have 5 minutes left now. Time is ticking, but it looks like they're in a perfect position to cut them off, because they are starting to walk through Baby Door. This is a Kai solo Uber at the moment. He's not going to get much, because Proxy tried to loop around. No scout buff speed to try and use that Uber as effectively as they could. They managed to pick up Cake in the process, though, and it looks like they're trying to muscle their way into the lobby. TG is actually caught. He might get picked off by Kai, but he manages to wiggle his way out. Montgomery Wigglesworth does the same thing as he gets out of shutter.
Yeah, this is turning to a real nail-biter. You really don't want to be losing players in Pogjuice's position here. They need to be conserving their round advantage, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a demo down, and it looks like Kai's just going to walk on through Launchpad. He traps off the point, manages to pick off TG. There's a bunch of frags. Lizard actually picks up a kill. So does Cake. This is 3v1 though, and wow, that's... Off Uber pushes, that was as clean as you could have it. Kai just walked on, trapped the point, got a free kill onto TG as he tried to fight someone. I believe it was Proxy on the point, and the rest of the team, like the soldiers, just managed to clean up.
Yeah, I think that that round is what Artix need to get back into this game. They've got now 4 minutes, which is that's definitely enough to get this next round.
Early double
They
soldier
played
bomb from the side of
aggressively.
red. Conflux is up on their elbow. Tanking does a bunch of damage, stuffing people into choke. Kai is walking forward as well. Conflux doesn't actually manage to get too much. He picks up a scout actually, and they're going to force this out. Frydog is actually all alone. He's going to try and hero play against the medic. Randy eats a pipe but gets nothing else. That is a lot of aggression that comes out of red, and they managed to win that.
Yeah, I think traditionally, after a long stalemate, the next round is always much quicker, and that's what we saw just then. A super aggressive mid play that ended up working out.
Yeah.
Artix does not have much time to turn this into a push, so I guess from the position of Pogjuice, I would just be looking to stalemate this out and play the golden cap. Honestly, unless Artix majorly screw up their push, I don't know if it's very feasible for Pogjuice to get around here.
Yeah, I think Arctic still have a bit of time to maybe send a sack in, prepare like a really decent play.
Yeah,
they still have
definitely.
3 minutes left, so they might send in tanking or something to get a huge force. Kai actually eats a bunch of shit onto launchpad, though he does get saved by the arrows of Randy, but it looks like they're going to set up for hopefully a sack play.
Yeah, I think honestly you might even have a little bit of time for a sniper, but actually it looks like Toka's gonna be. They might be trying to go for a double stack here. Toka playing the point with a soldier bombing in at the same time, but
Oh, Lizard gets picked off too.
yeah, that just turns. I guess now Pogjuice can't counter sack because they're already down a player.
Yeah. They do still have that engineer up on the side of Monty, so that'll be kind of the only off-class they have when trying to combat this last push. But with Toka going down, I think he was the one that was going to off-class, but he's actually not up as an off-class at the moment.
Tanking sacking in here for the for Rabu gets one decent rocket, but doesn't end up getting the kills.
Yeah, I'm surprised Toka didn't manage to come up sniper. He would have had a decent amount of time to just pick his shots, but I guess not, because tanking is going to go in. Might be a tanking off class. We've seen him go spy and sniper this game already. They managed to spam down the sentry as well, so that threat is not there.
Yeah,
And,
thinking about
yeah.
it, I think the reason why Toka didn't come up sniper is because after getting the shot, he has very little time to swap off back onto scout. And you kind of don't really want to be taking that push, especially if you don't get the medic. You get like the heavy or the demo or something like that. But Artix might actually be even trying to go for. I mean, I guess there's no reason that no reason for them to not go for a super aggressive trade in.
Yeah,
with, like,
they have
not
a
enough time
bunch
left.
of people in river, like all the heals are there. It looks like Toka's running through water again. Tanking is the only one holding lobby at the moment. TG's going to meet Toka actually to try and duel, and I'm not sure what this play is actually going to turn out to be. Conflux is getting flashed in. Yeah, this is going to be an aggressive Uber trade, like you said. This is a solo Conflux Uber. He just gets isolated, and he's going to get picked off. Kai
Yep.
tries to enter, but there is not going to be much. No one dies on the side of blue team, so yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting play.
Pogjuice gets a slightly better Uber there, and although I don't think that's why they got both soldiers, it did help with them holding. And now, unrelated, they do also have both soldiers killed for Artix, so it looks like Pogjuice is going to be trying to push out.
Oh, this is interesting.
Kai
TG is
getting
going
a
to
lot
get
of
aggressive.
damage on-
Robin 4 might actually die here. Yeah, he gets picked off.
Yeah.
Their over-aggression just bites them in the ass at the moment because Proxy got the freest medic kill of his life. They're going to run in with this heal ad. TG actually managed to pick off Randy though, so it's even players. There is a heavy on the side of blue team. There's
It's going to
30
be
seconds left.
extremely clutch for
Yeah.
this to turn into something.
Blizzard with a
medics
huge
go
bomb onto
down.
launch pad, picks up Conflux. Tanking
Nice.
is about to eat a bunch of shit from the Kovacs heavy on Monty.
There we
and
go.
yeah, Proxy gets taken down. Kai manages to pick up 2 though. He's just in secret by himself. They're just probably going to rush the point. But yeah, it's not going to turn out to be much with 10 seconds left.
4 players just squatting on the point and 4 seconds on the clock. This might not be able to turn into a round here. So it looks like this is going to be a golden cap. This was a really a nail-biting game in my opinion so far. Trading rounds and trading points. There was a little bit of stalemating earlier in the game, but yeah, it's getting tense here. This is they're playing for the chance at getting a guaranteed spot in grand finals for intermediate here. So there's a lot on the table.
Yeah, logs have come up at the moment, and I am looking at them now. I spot already TG went huge, going 26 for 13. And he was the highest ranking on the server. Basically, he was the only person to get into like higher than 20 kills. Kai in return though had a huge game of his own and managed to hit 330 DPM. So he's consistently showing up for his team. Frydog managed to have a bit of a better game compared to last time. He had a decent 270. And Lizard again showing his value. He came up with 330 DPM of his own. What else do you spot from these logs?
I mean, the medic deaths are much more even than they were last game, which I think it just goes to show, and they're both much lower as well. It just goes to show how much slower this game was and how much more even it was. It's worth noting that Pogjuice, they got a decent amount more damage in total, a couple more Ubers, pretty much the same number of kills. Any standout logs? Tanking getting 4 med kills. That's something. Oh, Conflux with the million health pack pickups, the most important stat, I must say, and it's not because I'm a Roma player.
Yeah, I think apart from that, that's pretty much it. Like, I think Blue Team managed to get off 2 more Ubers, where including the crits as well. But yeah, like, not much to say because these logs basically show what we saw just then. Like, this is a really even game. Do you think there's any kind of momentum though? Like, Arctics was the one to pick up the latest round, I'm pretty sure. If I was not mistaken. Yeah, they were the one that picked up the latest round, so they could have the momentum running into this. Like, they were the ones trying to push into their last 2. So, how do you think this Golden Cap will end up going?
I honestly don't know which team has more momentum here because, like you said, Artix got the last round, so they'll have that. Although it has been like some time since that happened, and Pogjuice won the last fight. So if they, it's hard to tell without being in comms, but it might go to Pogjuice just because they had such a convincing last hold just there. I do know that I think both teams will be feeling very tense right now.
Yeah, looks like the teams are just loading up the Golden Cap config. So, might see some ready up soon. Maybe people are just taking a break, trying to recompose themselves at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah, that would that would be my guess as well. Just like quick run around the room, just trying to get rid of all the jitters that have built up during that tense game. Looks like teams are ready, so the just in chat, so the ready ups should be happening fairly soon.
yeah. I think probably going to expect like a pretty fast-paced mid. To be honest, I think these teams aren't really the type of team to really reserve themselves if it's really down to the wire. Like, obviously, if it's going to be like a last hold, then yeah, you're going to try and hold it as best as you can. But on like the opening play of the Golden Cap, I don't expect to see some really passive play. Like, we might even see teams trade sides or something, like something really aggressive that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I think this mid probably will be taken super aggressively, and I think it might actually end up going to the favor of Artix because last time we saw them take a super aggressive mid, they managed to convert it into like winning the mid very decisively. So when Pogjuice won their mid, because there have only been 2 mids, they took it much slower and ended up playing off of their soldiers' advantage a lot more. So I think that would be my guess for Artix winning this mid, but who knows? Honestly, like this is something that's really difficult to predict. It's so in the players' heads, so based on like just a couple of rockets can turn the entire mid around.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, Rockets, like I've seen, like probably one of the key differences to the ways that they played the mid is that both team soldiers have been aggressing like really early and acting as like the big initiators of the fights, like with Conflux and taking away the double bombs going behind, same with Lizard and Cake trying to force the enemy team out of like their big door. But I think it's the follow-ups from the demos that have been really changing it. Like the moment that Conflux and tanking bomb in, Kai is instantly ready with the beam to try and walk forward and lock them out, whereas Frydog's been maybe a little bit more defensive. Like, I haven't seen him be able to get like as much room to walk forward. Might be because of the way that the scouts play, like they're not close, like they're not, I don't know, death balling around him enough, but I think it's something interesting to note the way that the 2 demos are playing. Like, I don't think, like DM wise, maybe Kai will have like the edge, but like I don't think Frydog is too out of the league of Kai in like pure skill.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit less experienced, but honestly, this game Fradog's been showing up. He's been doing a lot of damage. Like in the crucial moments, getting like many kills and lots of damage. So it could go either way, really. I was gonna say something. Um, I think this mid as well, like Lizard, Wizard, and Cake having their kind of more they're very known for their double bombs, right? So I think that's like it's not guaranteed that Artix is going to win an aggressive mid because Lizard, Wizard, and Cake can also do a more classic double bomb, and as long as their team follows up, it should play well. Oh, actually, sorry, I remember what I was gonna say. Gullybush is a map as well that you really don't want to get caught like sitting too far back. The kind of box near the little health pack is honestly like a death zone. Like if you get bombed or aggressed on while your team is sitting there, it's game over. But we've got ready ups here going into the golden cap of second map of intermediate upper page playoffs.
I'm going to watch Kai for the start of this mid to see if he can get aggressive. He's going to hit his rollout pretty decently and on a fast time too. After that, I'm going to be watching the tanking camp to see if he can coordinate with Conflux. Kai is going to get some decent early damage off onto this enemy big door. Gets Monty down really low immediately. But a soldier's going to pressure him. Kai is taken down to 15 HP, and it looks like there's just a bunch of point presence on the side of blue team. Lizard is still under. Proxy is going to pick down Ravu 4, and Frydog just gets eaten alive.
It's a very bizarre mid strat there. I think they sent like their whole team through choke, if I'm not mistaken, with a sniper to mid as well.
Wait, what? A sniper? I did not even notice that too. Holy crap.
Toka came off on sniper. It's possible that they were trying to take a very, actually, ironically, very passive approach to this mid. If it starts going bad, they can back out to second and just stalemate it out with a sniper.
Kai and Conflux were actually really forward, and they get picked off for their troubles, yeah. Like, what looked like to be an Artix round was only saved by the fact that Randy died in the process as well. So it's going to be even Ubers, but with a demo down, it looks like TG is going to big dix this through choke with the help of Cake. He manages to pick off tanking as they try and re-enter mid, and they're going to get forced out. Toka might get trapped here. He is alone in big door. He's taking down a really low HP, but he's going to escape. And yeah, they're going to try and build up this Uber. It was going to be even Ubers, but I think blue team were just building a little bit better during the process of that push. So it's going to be a slight ad on the side of blue team. Looks like it is definitely dot pushable, but we'll see if they actually realize that they have that slight ad.
A big bomb coming in from, I think that's Lizard, yeah.
Gets like 30 damage onto the medic and nothing else, but yeah, it looks like they don't manage. It looks like they didn't realize that it was actually a slight ad for them, so that was their sack play. Actually, Conflux is going to counter sack. He tried to go through drop down, but managed to get stuffed before he could even get out. So yeah, it's going to devolve into a stalemate, and it's blue team that is the one that is trying to push in.
Yeah, so I guess the prediction was wrong about a hyper aggressive mid. A bomb from Cake actually getting no real damage on the medic. He gets a couple of nice rockets on Kai, I think, or maybe it was just one, but nothing really. It's their sack, so I guess we'll just see Conflux counter sacking, maybe? Yeah,
it looks like they're just going to cycle a bunch of sacks in, or like depending on how fast. There's a shotgun on the side of someone, I believe.
I just noticed, I think that is Conflux running shotgun. Yeah, he is.
It's probably one of the most viable maps in the current pool to use shotgun, considering how choke pointy it is, but they actually they rotated all the heals onto the flank, and they managed to pick off Lizard and Monty. They force out the Uber. TG is trying to run in, but he gets caught out after Ravi 4 leaves him. Kai is going to jump in with the stickies laid on the floor, and they are going to pick this mid up for free. They have 3-player ad trying to walk into their second. Proxy is already in with Kai. Ravi 4 is all alone. Proxy is going to try and chase him. Beefs a bunch of shots. He's taken only 10 HP away from Ravi 4, but they still have enough presence in big door to try and force them away. But the spawns come up from the side of blue, and they're going to retain their hold. So that looked really sketchy for a second, but blue team managed to recompose themselves in time. It was really lucky and fortunate for them that red team didn't deny their forward spawns, because if that happened, there was no way that they were going to hold second.
That's what I was about to say, actually. If those 2 forward spawns get denied, that's like they should just get second for free, honestly, and that turns into a last hold, which again is a super uncomfortable position to be in.
Yeah, this is now again even Ubers, but this time it is red trying to push into the blue team side. So Toka actually manages to get picked off, but TG trades in the process.
Frydog on 3 HP for some reason. I wasn't even paying attention, but I guess he's just very low on health. I was paying attention to Toka getting picked off. TG, trading out with him, and I guess this is just back into a stalemate. Surely TG comes up on Spy though.
Oh, well, TG has not gone Spy, and so has Toka. He has decided to avoid off-classing. Proxy gets taken down to 6 HP while holding a flank while Toka's not there. But
aggressive spam from Kai, I guess, just to keep Pogjuice on their toes.
Some really low players on the side of red. They only just get arrows now. It looks like they're just not losing, but they're getting really pressured out by this big door presence by Lizard and Monty. That big DM of Lizard trying to just bully them away from a choke point is working. Looks like they have Cake on the blue, like the big door side as well. So anyone that does try to aggress is just going to get eaten alive by 2 soldiers and a scout.
Yeah, I think what Kai actually might be trying to do with his aggression in choke is to walk forwards and hit like a pipe onto Ravu so that one of his soldiers can just bomb in off of that damage and get a much easier sack. It's pretty risky though, considering that if you lose your demo like that, you know, that's...
they managed to overwhelm Lizard at big door while you say that, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's okay.
But they take a bunch of kills into big door. They managed to pick off Lizard, but Toka dies in the process. It looks like they were trying to set up the play where they try and leak behind through baby door, but it doesn't work out as Conflux dies as well. Kai trades out the frag with Cake, and it's going to be a soldier and a scout for double soldiers, but Lizard just comes up. Yeah, like as I was saying earlier, it looks like they tried to flood the hills through big door to see if they can like leak someone through baby door, and they had a really good chance at it, but the Uber comes in. It's going to be an even trade. Kai is the one that's taking the bulk of this Uber as Proxy leaves it. And it looks like Blue are not giving this up. They only just get out now. TG managed to pick up Proxy. Lizard dies in the midst of that fight. And Red Team are just getting forced onto low ground. But because of the way that they're positioned, they're just recomposing and just picking off overextending players. Tanking manages to pick up his 6th kill. Manages to pick up 2 more. Gets Cake and Frydog. And that's going to be an easy second.
Yeah. Now they've also got Uber advantage pushing into last, so like this is starting to look pretty not great for Pogjuice. They're gonna need some off classes, I think, and
they already have an engineer up, and it looks like instead of like abusing player ad, they're just gonna play the Uber ad instead, and they're gonna push in with the 70 or 60% Uber advantage.
Yeah, I kind of honestly wish that Pogjuice was playing these last holds with a bit more off classing, like a pyro, like you said earlier, or a heavy would do wonders in this position, I think. Like
especially as they're taking this Uber through Shutter now, that level 1 sentry is going to do absolutely nothing. It still hasn't been taken down though. They actually pick up 2 onto Kai and Toka, who didn't get flashed in that Uber. Cake goes down as well. Tanking picks up a return frag onto Lizard. He is walking on the point. He has no HP though. He gets shredded, and yeah, that was surprising.
This game is so back and forth. It's great. Like, from a position like that, they managed to hold second and then instantly re-push out. Sorry, hold last and instantly re-push out to second. Now they have ad. They should be able to walk into mid here.
That's if they don't get sniped by the Toka sniper in forward spawn though. It looks like they're going to go through choke, so they're going to avoid that sight line completely. Conflux is fighting someone on the flank as well. Monty might actually peek into that sight line as he tries to enter through, but it looks like they're just recomposing and the Uber's going to be taken through choke. There is double soldier and a demo in choke. They're going to meet TG though, and TG is going to try and lead this in with Cake.
Yeah, I honestly think it would have been nice if Pogjuice took that push a bit quicker to play off of the soldier that Artix was lacking, because now that this is starting to even out, I guess.
Yeah, like as Cake was trying to muscle his way through elbow, he just got caught. Like as you said, like they weren't going fast enough, and Cake was just on a completely different page to this team, because like the position he was in, he was ready to enter with this team, but like they just didn't use their Uber in time, and that's a player downside on the defensive team of Blue, but it doesn't really matter because he came up now. So again, it's going to devolve into a stalemate, but Toka is behind. He is fighting Cake, who's on the respawn, but they trade, unfortunately. So yeah, even respawns for the side of Toka and Cake, and they just might look to take this into either like another sack play or an off-class play for Toka, as he might come up sniper, or be even spy, who knows.
Yeah, I mean, this is there's not much to say, I guess. It's just another stalemate on second.
And we've got Toka's on sniper.
Toka's sniper again. I think I'm not sure. I guess they'll be looking to maybe get another pick onto a Lizard on the flank so they can start working big door a little bit more. Toka getting a buff. Yeah, I think he is trying to play big door. Get a pick just somewhere. Doesn't even really need to be like super valuable, because just one player advantage allows you to put so much more pressure through the choke points.
Yeah, like you've been saying, like Lizard does manage to do a bunch of damage while holding the flank and like pressuring the flank, but it's sometimes his eagerness that he just gets caught out, and actually as I say that, Monty gets caught out instead. So they have this double soldier big door, but they might get picked off again. Cake eats a 50 damage shot from Toka. Oh my gosh, he just destroys Lizard. That's a one player ad still though, because Proxy manages to eat a bunch of crap while trying to fight Lizard. So they might still try and pressure from this. Like, they're not giving it up so far. The heals are still in big door. Kai is just locking people out and making it his. They're actually going to aggressively use the Uber into like big door. It's a solo scout Uber, but they managed to back away like really fast. and they are not going to recontest. They're actually going to rotate through river. Frido gets taken down by tanking. Oh no.
Yeah, Frido getting picked off by tanking there is pretty disastrous. He does end up trading out, but on the other side of the point, Lizard goes down to Proxy. Now they're just going to be rushing straight to last, looking to end this game. 4 players going down for Pogjuice, and this is starting to become a decisive last push. I think we might have the winner of this game.
The taunts come out, and that is a GG. That is a 2-1 scoreline in the side of Artix Entertainment after a really intense Golden Cap and Gully Wash game in general. That was basically as clean as you could do it on the side of that Toka sniper play. Like he basically did it as well as you like. He having those heals in big door on the side of red team just managed like to bait out the Uber because they were all like they baited them out by having like a bunch of people just seemingly trapped into a doorway, but because they only used the scout in that Uber and they didn't manage to force a bunch of multis, like blue team just kind of capitalized. Not blue team, sorry. Artix just capitalized after that terrible Uber and they just flooded people in. Frido going down in river was really the thing that kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of ended up snowballing into more frags for Artix, and unfortunately for Pogjuice, they end up losing both maps, and Artix really asserts their dominance. I think Pogjuice will now be going to the semifinals against the winner of the lower page playoffs match. So they're not completely out of the running for first place, but it's going to be a bit of a journey to get back into the running for grand finals.
Yeah, they're going to meet the winner of Is This Highlander and against Garden Warfare, hopefully either tomorrow or on Thursday. But usually we don't check Golden Cap logs, or I don't check Golden Cap logs at least, but looking at that 10-minute Golden Cap, Kai managed to hit 355 DPM and tanking got 11 kills in 10 minutes. That is a big...
Impressive.
Yeah. Not much to say apart from that huge performance by tanking, but that was... He really showed up. Like, as I was looking through this game, like from recent logs, tanking just wasn't... It looks like he wasn't bothered. Like, he wasn't really... At least stat-wise, he wasn't performing, but this game he really... Like, on process as well, he really showed up, and that just kind of... I don't know, they just performed better on the day on process and on Gully Wash.
Yeah, I mean, not much else to say about it. He's just really performing well. The Toka sniper as well, doing so much work on the flank there. That headshot onto Lizard still got me a bit shook.
Yeah, I think every player in general, like throughout that whole Arctics team, just performed really solidly today. Like obviously there were standouts like Tanking and Kai who managed to do a bunch of work like on their respective classes, but the rest of the team like they showed up equally as much. Like they really showed that they didn't have like a weak point in their roster. Like some people could argue that Proxy was like the weak point, but in this game like Proxy didn't look like it at all. He managed to play really solidly. Like he got the picks that he needed. He stayed alive to protect his medic when he needed it, and yeah, like Randy's survivability was on point as well. Even though Ravu 4's like survivability and just like, you know, positioning improved a lot, like from Gully Wash compared to Process, like overall, like they just got overwhelmed by kind of maybe like the DM of Arctics at the end.
Yeah, I think you said it all there.
We are trying to get interviews, but it may not be the case. So yeah, that's like the upper page playoffs. The Arctics getting a rightful spot in the grand finals. They get a week off and they get to await the winner of the semi-finals, which is already decided to have Pogjuice in it. And yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Garden Warfare and Is This Highlander are going to be fighting for that spot in the semi-finals. And that match is going to be on CappingTV tomorrow night at 8, so tune in for that. Do you have any kind of predictions on the playoff scene, like with after this game?
Between you mean between Is This Highlander and Garden Warfare?
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure because honestly I didn't expect Is This Highlander to get as nearly as far as they did, but they just seem to be winning games like with their unconventional roster. They actually picked up a map against Pogjuice Aficionados, which at least I find pretty funny.
Yeah.
So who knows? I guess I would say probably that Garden Warfare are the more conventionally favored team, but sometimes, like sometimes shit happens, and is this Highlander might just be able to pull it out. So that could go either way. Honestly, that would be a really good game that I'd keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'd say some final thoughts before we close off, or a final question at least. In the event that like these two do meet again in the grand finals, like what do you think Pogjuice needs to change to take this map to 3 maps and to even win the whole division?
Honestly, I think that they need to probably ban process, or at least the other scout heavy maps. Like that was such a dominant showing from Artix on process. It really kind of set the tone for the whole rest of the officials. So I think either they need to ban the more scout heavy maps, or they need to do a lot of them reviewing, a lot of practice specifically for that game to try and shut down Toker and Proxy, because they're doing so much work.
Yeah, something that I also briefly noticed that was that the combo play of the red team like was a lot more coordinated, and their like positioning wise, they were always in a chance to capitalize on the mistakes, or even like that 1 meter too far forward like position from Ravi 4. Like there was sometimes on process and a few times on Gully where he would just be a little bit too far forward with the rest of his team, and he'd just get caught out. Like there's always that. There was like it seemed in a few of those fights or a few of those like aggressions that there was always at least one player that was going a little bit too close to the enemy team. Like we saw Cake at the end, like he just got stuffed in elbow. I think it was during Golden Cap, and he just got caught out as they tried to push in. So that's something they probably need to work on as well. Just a little bit more, like they need to be a little bit more on the same page. To be honest, that's probably the thing that they need to work on as they enter through as they continue through playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we're not going to be able to get interviews, unfortunately, but I think that about wraps it up for this game. This was really fun to cast and to watch. Thanks for casting it with me, Jolson.
No worries. As we close off, let's just head into some shoutouts then. Do you have any ants?
My mom.
Sweet. All right. Shoutouts to my team that I played with in season 29, Open Players. Shout out to Harvard Esports. Shout out to Burnt Toast Gaming, and shout outs to Author. Do you have any shout outs, Jazz?
Shout outs to both teams. Big shout outs to both you and Ants Jolson. You guys did wonderfully tonight. It was a pleasure to listen to, a pleasure to produce. Shout outs to everybody who was tuned in, and I don't know. Shout outs to my girlfriend and my dad as always. Looking forward to the American election tomorrow night. Got a lot of money on the line. It's gonna be great. Gonna be huge. So shout outs to everybody who's losing their mind about that in America. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone.